Good evening, everyone. This evening, we're going to talk about the rule of 11, and we use the rule of 11 not only as defenders, but we can use it as well as the declarer. So it doesn't only apply in defense. A lot of people think the rule of 11 only applies in defense. So I'm going to load the hands, hand number 2, and if any of you never got the hands, I'll post them up again for you. But we're going to have a look at hand number 2 and see what and how we're going to share this board. Let me get back to it. I was showing them another hand. Right. So we'll get back onto hand number 2. All right. So the bidding, looking at the hand East. East opens a hand 1 no trump. That's a no trump shape, a 4-4-3-2. You do not need a stopper in all the suits. As long as you've got a no trump shape, you open 1 no trump. There's no other bid. 4-4-3-2. And it goes pass by south. And now having enough points in the west hand and no 4-card major, we do not stamen. We just bid 3 no trump. Remember, we don't play in minors. We think no trump. Either major or no trump. And it goes pass, pass, pass. When you have no stamen and the bidding goes 1 no trump, 3 no trump, you should bend over backwards to lead a major. And the best major to lead here is the 7 of spades from a 4-card suit. And now the partner that's sitting in the north hand must work out what we play called the rule of 11. We subtract 7 from 11. That means there are 4 cards out higher than the 7. In the dummy, we can count 1, the king, and in your hand, the north hand can count 3. That's 4. That means declarer has nothing higher than the 7. So when they play low, which is always the safety play, you cannot put up the 9. If you put up the 9, you'll never beat the contract. And then you can never get 4 spade tricks. But by playing the rule of 11 and subtracting the lead from 11, you can calculate exactly how many declarer has. So you should play the 2 on the 7 and know that they cannot beat the 7. Now partner can do the rest and it'll go low, or they put up the king. I suppose they'll put up the king. It's all to nothing. It doesn't matter. And now they can take 4 spade tricks and the ace of hearts, and they will beat the contract. But I'm going to go back because I want to show you. We're going to take these. I'm going to take these tricks and show you how we beat the contract. You'll play the jack of spades. And before you play the 9 of spades, you play your ace of hearts now. Just tell partner, we're beating this contract. Let's take the ace while we can. Because partner wouldn't know what ace you have. And then you'll come back the 9 of spades. And then we beat the contract. So let's have a look, everybody, at what happens in this situation. That's 5 tricks. I'm going to undo right from the very beginning for you to show you that you should not put in the jack and you should not put in the 9. Because you can never get back to partner to take 4 spade tricks, ever. And that's what we need to learn today. So if you leave the 7 and you put in the 9 or the jack, let's say you put up the jack because you're keeping the ace over the king or the 9 and you don't use the rule of 11. Whether you put up the jack or you put up the 9, you can never get back to your partner. And how many spades are you going to take? You can only take the ace. There's no other way, and the ace of hearts. You can't get to your partner. Your partner's got nothing. You can add up all the points together. Partner's got nothing. And you'll give them a spade. And then you'll just take the ace of hearts. And now we're never going to beat the contract. So the rule of 11 is very important, everybody, that we've got to work it out. Are there any questions on hand number 2? Any questions? I'm looking in the chat in case any of you want to add to it. And
I don't really understand why you can't beat the contract taking the 9 or the jack.
Because what happens is, well, let's look at it this way, okay? Let's go back. Let's go back. Okay? Okay, so let's say you put in the 9, okay? Not the jack. Okay, how do you take 4 spade tricks if the king is in the dummy? We can only take 3. We need partner to come through so we can capture the king. And partner can never get in again. That is why it's essential to use that rule of 11 to know that by using the rule of 11, partner can stay in her hand. And now she can come through another spade to beat the contract. Once you put up the 9 or the jack, you can never get back to the south hand to be able to capture that king.
Okay, I see.
Okay?
I see. Thank you.
Pleasure. Any other questions? None? Okay. All right. Let's go on to hand number 3. Yeah, the dealer is sir. Okay, I want to talk about this hand. This is what I wanted to talk about. So many people have asked this question. When do we open 1 no trump versus a 5-card major? And I want to talk about this, whether it's a 5-card major or a 5-card minor to an honor. You should not open 1 no trump when you've got 17 and a good 5-card suit. You treat it as 18. Now this hand has 17 high card points. I would treat this hand as 18. If you've got 15, 16, we always open 1 no trump. We've got no rebid. But when you've got 17, you can always jump to 2 no trump to show partner 18, 19. So that is my little tip. It's not in any book. I'm telling you about it today. Because too many people phone me, ask me, everybody asks, when do we open 1 no trump versus a 5-card major? And it's the same for the minor. So on this hand, you should open 1 heart, everybody. You would treat this hand as 18. Okay? It's going to go pass. And now what range are we in? Partner is got a heart fit. We're in the medium range. We have 6 and 2 is 8, 9, 10. And a 4th trump. So we're in the medium range, 10 to a bad 12. So it's our duty to jump to 3 hearts. Now that's very important that you know what range you are in as a responder. We've got the minimum range, 6 to a bad 10. We have a medium range, a good 10 to a bad 12. And this is the medium range. It's called invitational. All jumps in old suits, either by opener or by responder, are invitational. And now this hand will have no problem in bidding 4 hearts with a maximum hand. 4 hearts is the contract. We have no problem whatsoever on this hand. Okay? So let's talk about leads.
Can I ask a question, Linda, please?
Yes, please do.
So we played, oh dear, hold on. So we opened 1 heart, I was south. I opened 1 heart, pass. My partner said 2 hearts. And then I went to 3 hearts, but could I have jumped to 4 hearts with not a problem?
No, partner could have had 6 points.
You know, okay, so it's safe. So if
But
she,
your partner's got too many points and a 4th trump. Your partner's in the medium range.
right.
That hand is too good having a 4th trump. I'm not mad about 4-3-3-3, but that 4th trump enhances that hand.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to look at what range you're in. Remember, I'm mini, midi, maxi.
Yeah.
And that is our foundation for bidding. And that is what I'm going to try and do in August. I've got a lot of things up my sleeves that I want to do because I want to get your bidding right. The bidding is the biggest problem. I'm noticing this all the time. You know, the play of the hand is fine, but the bidding is where all the problems are coming in. So I've got something really that I'm going to do. I think it's going to be great. I'm working on it. But we need to know the foundation of responders bidding and openers rebids. Openers rebids and responders bidding when you find a fit. And that's the thing. Your partner cannot put 2 hearts on this hand. It's too good.
So then you have to look at the range when you're
When you find a fit,
you have to
then
look at the range. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
To a bad 10, a good 10 to a bad 12, and a good 12 or more. Those are the 3 ranges, mini, midi, maxi. What makes a good 10? 10s and 9s, it's called stuffing. For every 10 attached to an honor, I add a half a point. I like my hand. I've got the 10, 9 of hearts. I've got the jack 10 of diamonds. And I'm in the medium range. So that would be the best. But I hope your partner bid 4 after you bid 3. Because you said you bid 3 to invite her to game. Correct, Diane?
Stayed at 3.
And then did your partner not go to 4 having a maximum?
No.
Okay, so we need to learn our ranges. Once we've got our ranges, we'll never have a problem.
Okay.
And
Could you repeat the ranges?
I'm going to just put it in the chat. I'll type it in the chat for you. The 3 different ranges, okay? I'm just going to put it in the chat now for you all. Okay, I'm just going to put it
What's the check?
the chat, the little chat
Yes.
in Zoom. There's a little chat, okay?
Mhm.
You know about the little chat?
I don't.
You don't? Okay, at the very bottom of your screen, there's a little thing that says chat, C-H-A-T. And if you click on that, you'll find
Oh,
that
chat. Okay, I'm sorry. I got it.
okay, and then you'll find my lesson hands and the numbers and everything. Responders ranges are, okay? I call it mini, which is 6 to a bad 10 with a little minus at the top. I don't know how I'm going to show that minus. I can't do that, okay? Then I've got the midi range. That's called the medium range, and that's a good 10 to a bad 12. Okay, can you see it? And then we've got the maxi range, and that is a good 12 or more. Those are the 3 ranges as a responder. Mini, 6 to a bad 10, midi, 10 plus to a bad 12, and maxi, a good 12 or more. When you find a fit, it is your duty to describe the strength of your hand to your partner. And bidding 3 hearts was a good bid because you're in the maximum range. There's a different ranges for the opener. And these are the ranges for the opener. I'm going to give them to you here if you want them. Do you want me to finish typing them in? Should I finish or should I carry on with the hand?
No,
I don't
type them in.
Okay, openers ranges okay. Mini range 12 to 14. Midi range, medium range 15 to 17. Maximum range 18 to 21. There they are. And those are the 3 ranges for opener. And that's your foundation. Once you learn this in bridge, you should never have a problem in getting to the right contract. And that is what I want everyone to learn. Mini, midi, maxi. I have everybody singing it when they leave my classes because they know about this. It's the best thing you can do, okay? All right. So you
Thank
can copy that later. So now we're in 4 hearts, and they're going to lead the 5 of spades. And let me talk about why I lead a major versus a 5-card minor. Now I have 2 kings. To lead from a 5-card suit, the chances of me ever making that king is very remote if I've got 5. But if I lead from a 4-card suit, I've got a better chance of making the king than if I had a 5-card suit, because the opponents could be short. So I lead my 4th highest spade. When they're in the major, I usually like to leave the other minor, and I found it very useful. So I'm just mentioning it to you. If they're playing in spades and I have a choice, I'd like to lead hearts. And if they're playing in hearts, I like to lead spades. I won't say it's always right, but most of the time it works very well. Now, you don't waste your time with the jack. You don't have the king, the queen, the 10, nothing. You play low. And now you, the East, have to work out the rule of 11. The 5 was led. Okay? 11 from 5 is 6. How many can we see? We've got the jack higher than the 5. We've got the 8, that's 2. We've got the 6 is 3. We've got the queen is 4 and the 9 is 5. That means the clear has only got 1 card higher than the 5. Only 1 card higher than the 5. If you use the rule of 11. You must keep the queen over the jack. Because if you put up the queen, which is 100% incorrect, they will always have another trick. Because if they play a spade towards the jack and the king takes, the jack will become a trick. So we will never put the queen up when the jack is in the dummy. That we could never do. We've got to keep protecting that jack. So we've got 2 choices. You're either going to put up the 9 or you're going to play low if there's 1 higher. I would put up the 9 and keep my queen over the jack. So put up the 9. And they've got 1 higher. And now the ace wins. Now they're going to lose 2 spade tricks. The other way, they're only going to lose 1 spade if you put up the queen. So we've got to keep a cover over that jack. Once you've got the queen, you've got to keep the cover over the jack. And that is the rule of 11. Let's go back to take the 5 lead. 5 from 11 is 6. There are 6 missing. We see 3 in the dummy and 2 in our hand, the queen and the 9. That means the clear has only got 1. Right, so let's look at the hand together, everyone. In the heart suit, no losers. In the spade suit, 2 losers. In the diamond suit, we've definitely got to lose 1 diamond trick. And the clubs, everything hinges on the finesse of the club. So the whole hand hinged on whether you put up that queen of spades or the 9 of spades. Putting up the 9, they're never making the hand. We'll draw trumps. And look what happens. They're going to go down. They're going to go down 1. The hearts don't break, but it doesn't matter. We need that club finesse to make. And we'll do the hearts 1 more time. So all the trumps are gone. Now we play the jack of clubs, a high card. They're the same length, so it doesn't matter. And pray. Well, that's not going to work. Now your partner promised an honor. We let a low card. I don't lead low cards if I don't have honors. So we can comfortably play the queen of spades. The partner led the 5. That promises an honor. And then you'll come back another spade. And now, remember what I've told you in the past. What you don't see in dummy, you don't play. You will never play the 10 of spades because the 10 of spades will give what's called a ruff and a discard, and they'll make the hand. So you can sit back nicely and just come back a club. You don't have to touch the diamond suit, and just come back a club. Nothing will happen, and you wait for your diamond trick. And now you play the jack of diamonds, and they won't cover the first time because the 10 is in dummy. And now they go down, and the rest are yours. So if there are any questions, I'd like you please to ask me now.
I have a question.
Yes.
So this was the contract on our board and they made it easily. And in the scoring, my partner and I are in like the bottom percentile. And we were east-west and they were 4 hearts and they made it. So did everybody else?
I haven't seen the results, so I can't tell you. Maybe Glenn can help me. Glenn, can you help me find the results on board 3?
No, I had to duck out, so I can't get to them. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
They made it only on a missed defense, because as long as you keep that queen over the jack, they can never make the hand. Third hand is high, but only as high as what dummy has. So anytime dummy has an honor, you've got to be very careful as to how high you go. It's not always third hand high when there's an honor in the dummy. That's very important, that you keep the queen over the jack. Once they put up the queen, you're definitely making the hand. The jack will become a trick. Does that
Are you
help
talking
you?
about north-south or east-west?
No, the east-west. They've got to keep that queen over the jack. So when partner leads the 5 of spades and it goes 6 of spades, they've got to play the 9. As long as they keep that little queen over the jack.
Okay.
And
okay.
that's how they made the hand. You see, third hand high is correct when there are no honors in the table. But when there's an honor, you've got to think about keeping over that, cover that honor with an honor. And you don't want to put that honor down because the jack will become a trick. You only go as high as necessary. When there's an honor on the table.
Okay.
Okay?
All right, thanks.
It's a very important defensive thing to do. Very. It's the same as if there's queen little on the table and they lead a low card and you've got the ace and you've got the jack. If you put up the ace, the queen's going to become a trick. But if you put up the jack, it might never become a trick, the queen. You've got to hope. And when partner led the 5, it's a low card. I don't lead low cards without an honor. If I lead a low card, I've got an honor. If I have just 4 to the 10, I lead second highest. I do not lead an honor. I show an honor.
So in answer to your question on that last one, I was playing north-south. So west led a diamond. I went up with a jack. East
Now it's wonderful. Let's talk about a diamond lead.
Yeah, I led a diamond.
Oh, once you've led a diamond, remember I gave you my theory why I don't lead from a 5-card suit versus a 4-card suit. A 5-card suit, there's very little chance that you'll ever make the king. But a 4-card suit, you've got a better chance of making the king. So I don't lead from a 5-card suit in a suit contract. I always choose between the two, the shorter suit. If I've got a 4-card suit versus a 3-card suit to the king, I lead from the 3-card suit. Because partner could be short when you're long.
Okay.
But leading a diamond makes the contract. You know how? Does everyone know how you make it? I'll show you.
So this game was over after the first lead.
Right. Let's go back to the diamond. You split your honors. You put up the jack. They put up the queen and you win the ace. You draw trumps and now you play the 3 of diamonds towards the 10. And the king takes. Now that 10 becomes a discard for your spade. And now you don't lose 2 spade tricks. So the diamond did not work out well.
No, it did not.
So let's make sure we know. If we're going to make a lead, choose the shorter one with the king, not the longer one, okay? We're not in no trump, we're in a suit contract.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a
boy.
good tip to remember. Okay? And I'll give you another word of advice in no trump. If you've got 5 hearts and 4 spades, what is the percentage of partner having more hearts or more spades? If you've got 5 hearts and 4 spades, let's talk about it. What is the percentage of partner having more hearts and spades? I don't think so. So my theory, and it's worked very, very well, you cannot believe it. If I lead from the 5-card suit, usually my partner's short and doesn't have much for me. But if I lead from the 4-card suit, I always hit gold. And it's always worked for me in no trump. If you've got a choice between a 4-card and a 5-card, my 4-card has always worked better because my partner's usually got length in that suit. The 5-card partner's usually short. I mean, I'm just giving you my tips, you know. Hope it helps.
It
It
was
works.
very helpful. Thank you.
It does. It does. It helps. Okay. All right, hand number 8. Let's look at the bidding on hand number 8. The bidding is West. West is the dealer. And West has 17 flat, 4333, and is going to open 1 no trump. Okay, it's going to go pass. And partner's going to Stamen. We have a 4-card major. We have 10 high card points. 10 and 15 is 25. That's close enough. So we know we got to go to game. So we're going to bid 2 clubs Stamen. Pass. And partner will bid 2 diamonds. I do not have a 4-card major. Okay. And now it should go 3 no trump. 3 no trump it is. Now let's make sure we understand that. 1 no trump, 2 clubs is Stamen, 2 diamonds. You can never bid no trump. You have to bid 2 diamonds. I don't have a 4-card major. And now you're the one that must go straight to 3 no trump. And the lead is the 6 of spades. Okay? 6 from 11 is 5. You with me? Let's count out. There should be 5 cards higher than the 6. We've got the 10, 9, or 2, and the Jack and the 7 are 4. That means declarer only has 1 higher than the 6. Third hand high. And you have to win the king because you can't afford to duck it. You might never make it. You don't know where the ace is. So you have to win the king. So now we've got to be a little bit deceptive in this game. We know as a declarer that we have 3 diamond tricks, the ace, the king, and the queen. In the clubs, we have 4. So that's 7. We've got 1 spade is 8. We need 1 more trick. But we've got to try and burgle one so they will fall asleep at the bridge table. So I don't want to make it so easy for everyone. I'm going to pretend I'm taking a finesse, okay? I play a little club. They don't have to know my business. Remember, in no trump, we keep our winners and dig up our treasures. You don't go taking all your tricks because now they'll know what to keep and what to throw away. And now you play the 10 of hearts pretending to take a finesse. And if you play second hand low, they will make the 9 tricks. And that's all he wanted to do. So second hand low does not apply. And why does it not apply? Because if you use the rule of 11 and they play a heart, you hop up with that ace as fast as you can and shoot back a spade. And now they're never making the hand. So we've got to be awake, everybody. And that's how we will beat the contract. So remember, second hand low does not apply in many instances, especially when you know that they only had one higher than the jack. Grab your tricks quickly, and then they will go down. They will never make the hand. We're going to take 4 spades and the ace of hearts, everybody. Are there any questions about this hand?
I have a question, Linda.
Yes, please ask me.
So when you just mentioned these ranges for the responder and for the opener. So then,
Yes.
so now the responder and the opener know what their ranges are, and then the responder, I think it was the 3-note trump west. So was that wasn't the dealer, was it? That was the responder?
No, this one, the dealer was west.
Okay.
It says on the left here, dealer.
Okay. All
west.
right. Not west. Okay.
But
And so,
east
okay.
has
Go
got
ahead.
10 points. And I want you to know there's no inviting to game. 10 and 15 is close enough, 25. You must make sure you bid 3 no trump. I've had a lot of students bid 2 no trump with that hand. You've got to make sure you bid a game. 10 and 15 is a game, okay?
Okay.
But you've got to be very, very careful to use the rule of 11 and not fall asleep at the table and think, oh dear, second hand low. No, there are exceptions to everything we learn at the bridge table. And that's one of them. There's no second hand low, okay? Provided you use the rule of 11. And that's what our lesson is tonight. Okay. Hand number 9. I want to make sure we're doing it correctly. Okay, so it's going to go pass by north, pass by east. I would never open the east hand. You've got no aces, you've got the worst shape, and I don't open on a bad 11. Pass by south, and this hand west is going to open 1 no trump, which is automatic. Okay? It's going to go pass. And this hand now is going to bid 3 no trump. No stamen. We've got no 4-card major. And you know that if you add 2 hands together, which is what I want you to do all the time, 11 and 15 is 26, just bid 3 no trump. Automatic. Okay? Now, there was no stamen here. There was no stamen. We know they don't have majors. But when you have a 5-card minor, it is up to you whether you wish to lead it or not. Now, personally, okay, it may work when you've got a good 5-card minor. 4-card minors, I will never lead over 1 no trump, 3 no trump. Never. Because there's no stamen. So to lead, they've got the minors. Remember, they've got the minors. When the bidding goes 1 no trump, 3 no trump, and no major, they've got the minors. But when you've got a 5-card suit, I think maybe you want to lead it because you're hoping you can improve this hand. But I would not lead a 4-card minor on that bidding. I would find a major lead. And my major choices are from the king, not from the queen. I would lead the 5 of hearts if I had to lead a major, if I had to. But now you're leading the 5 of diamonds. Okay? And you, declarer, are looking at all those beautiful diamonds. And this is where you as the declarer can use the rule of 11. You take 5 from 11 is 6, and you count the king is 1, the jack is 2, the 8 is 3. Oh yeah, I didn't mean to play the 8, sorry, I touched it by mistake. The 8 is 3, and you've got the ace is 4, and the 7 is 5. Okay? There's 1 card out higher than the 5. 5 from 11 is 6. We can see 5 cards higher than the 5. The ace, the 7, the king, the jack, and the 8. Please do not waste high cards, everybody. I've seen all of you put in the jack. All of you play the 8. Play the 2. And the 9 comes up. And you're going to win the ace. Now let's look at the hand together. Well, I told you it was only 1 card higher because I used the rule of 11. So let's count the tricks together. In the spades, we have the ace and the king, that's 2. In the hearts, we haven't touched the heart yet. We don't know. In the clubs, we've got 3 is 5. And we're not sure if the clubs are going to break 3 and 3. But let's look at the diamond suit. We can actually do what's called a deep finesse. Now, you keep your winners in no trump. Please don't go taking all your winners. Everyone can signal to each other what to do. You now go for the diamond. Play the 7 of diamonds. They'll play the 3. They're not going to tell you what they've got. And you will play the 8. Because if their hand came up with the 9, they've got nothing higher. And that is how you're going to make an extra trick. You're going to get a taxi back to your hand. They don't know you've got 4 clubs. And you're going to play another diamond. And you'll put in the jack. And now that really is what you needed. You needed 4 diamond tricks to finish up making the contract. So once you've got that, now you've got to throw away cards. Now you don't know whether to keep the club or to keep the hearts or to keep the spades. So if with a bit of luck, you may end up making an extra club trick depending on the opponents. What are they throwing away? Are they throwing a club or a heart? Well, we can see what's going on at the table. But whatever happens in this situation, we have 5 diamond tricks now. We have the ace, king of spades or 7, and we have the king, queen or 9 of clubs. And if they had thrown away a club, you would make 10. Then they break 3 and 3. So we can make the rest of the tricks. Are there any questions, everybody? So the rule of 11 doesn't always apply to defender. Here is a situation as a declarer, utilizing those little cards in the dummy and your hand to make all those extra tricks, because now you can go for your whatever you want to do. So we can just try. We're not going to manage it, but you never know. People throw away the wrong cards, and now they don't know what to hold. But those diamonds really made it very hard for them, what to throw away. And now you'll play a nice club. And the clubs are not going to break unless the 10 comes down. It's still not breaking, and the rest is theirs. You've made 9 tricks. Are there any questions, everybody? It was a nice, interesting lesson on the rule of 11. Anything interesting for you that you'd like to discuss besides the 4 that we have done? Any more hands? I'm looking in the chat.
I'm sorry, can you go over exactly how to do the rule of 11 again?
Sure. Okay, let me put it up again. Okay, so the bidding, I'll put up the bidding quickly. It's pass, pass, pass. It's going to go 1 no trump, pass, 3 no trump.
Okay.
Pass, pass, pass. You lead the 5 of diamonds, 4th from the top down. You subtract 11 from 5. That's 6. That means there are 6 cards higher than the 5. You, declarer, are looking at the king of diamonds is 1, the jack is 2, the 8 is 3, higher than the 5. The ace is 4 and the 7 is 5. And we said there were 6 cards higher than the 5. That means South has 1 card higher than the 5.
Can you pause it again?
Do you understand it?
Yes, I do. I got it. Okay, thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Any other hands you'd like me to talk about this evening?
Wait, I have a question. It's Nancy. I'm thinking about this. So this is, there's 1 card in the other hand.
Correct.
So South has that 1 card because North has 3 cards that are higher than the 5.
Right, you use 4th highest always. 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's the 4th highest down. The rule of 11 won't work if you lead a high card. It's only when you lead a 4th highest card it will work. It won't work if you lead a high card. So when I have hands that have no honors in them, like let's look at the club suit, everybody, in the south hand. I will not lead the 4. I have no honor. I want my partner to know that if I lead the 4, I have an honor. I would lead the 8. Now, the rule of 11, 8 from 11 is 3, but we can see much more that are higher than that, and therefore it's not the rule of 11. You will be able to work out the rule of 11 according to what is led. It's hard to do it from the 2 of hearts. There's a lot of cards missing. The 2 is a very low card. So the rule of 11, it's hard to do it with ace 6, 4, 2. But we know it's a 4-card suit because we lead from the 4th of the top down. In the spade lead, we lead the jack. Only 1 card's missing. There's no 4th highest. When you see jack 10, 8, you treat it as a full sequence, as if the 9 was there. You would lead the jack. You cannot use the rule of 11 with an honor. Okay?
So I have a question. I'm still not understanding why you're not adding the queen and the 10.
You don't touch what they've got. You ignore what they've got. You just look at the card that they've led. They've counted 4 down. So what they have is immaterial. You just count the cards that are higher from the 5. You subtract 11 from 5.
Right.
That's 6 cards higher. Forget about them. The
But
one
I
in
thought you counted the 9, which would be them, correct?
Well, we don't know they've got the number. We know they've got 1 higher. And that's why
Okay.
we will always play the 2. We're not going to waste the king and the jack and the 8. We're never going to play the king, the jack, and the 8. We play low and see what comes up. If they've only got 1 card higher, it might be a queen. You never know what it could be. It could be a queen. We don't know what they have. And it works out very well. Forget about what the opponent has when they led. They've led 4th highest. There are many cards. I lead a high card. Now my partner knows it's not the rule of 11. I don't want the suit back. If I lead a high card, Christmas comes. I don't want it back. Low cards like, I've got an honor. So everything depends on what they lead. You have to play a lot of them. Have a look at the hands this evening again, because you've got the printout. It's coming to you. I'm just wondering if there are any other hands that you played this evening with the rule of 11. I haven't studied them at all. But I was very concerned about you not opening 1 no trump with 17 and that very good heart suit. Because that's very important.
Linda, could you go over hand 5?
Sure. Hand 5 with pleasure. Let's see what that's like. Hand number 5. Okay.
Yeah, so I just wanted to say, it went to 3 spades east, and I led the Jack of Hearts. And I was wondering if that was the right lead.
On this hand.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, let's talk about it. That's not as, we'll talk about it. I could never lead the Jack without the 10. The
Okay.
lead of the Jack has the 10. I can't lead it on its own. It's like in fresh air. But let's just go back to the bidding. It's going to go pass. Wow, you can't open a week 2 with a 4-card heart suit to the ace queen. You can never have two suits and a singleton. You've got too many features on that hand. So either you pass or you open 1 spade. But I would never open that hand. I would pass. It's up to you.
Quick question. Are you
Yes.
saying like it's illegal to open a week 2 with this hand, or you just don't recommend it?
It's a very hard, a harsh word, illegal. Okay? It's a very harsh word. But
Is
if you
it
want to
frowned
be that
upon?
harsh, if you want to be that harsh, do not open a week 2 in 1 major with 2 honors in the other major. Now, I would open a week 2 if I had 4 baby hearts to the 10. I would do it, but not with ace queen in another. Okay?
'Cause I learned that this would qualify as a weak bid because it doesn't have an opening hand points.
No, it would not qualify as a week 2 because you cannot have 2 outside features. When you open a week 2, one of the first things I teach you, you cannot have a singleton and one and a half quick tricks in the other major. That's guaranteed. Okay. So you cannot. And also your week 2 needs 2 honors in first and second seat. In third seat, you can do what you like. But in first and second, I'm very controlled. I will never have defense in the other major and a singleton and open a week 2 with 1 honor. It does not go down with me. I don't.
Okay.
Okay? So I would definitely pass that hand. And then this hand's got 7 and 2 is 19, 11. I would pass this hand. And now we're going to open 1 diamond. And it's going to go pass. And you're going to put 1 spade. And over 1 spade, you're going to put 2 clubs. You've got to pass this hand and put 2 clubs. Partner, I've got 5 diamonds. Okay, and I've got 4 clubs. And now looking at this hand, if I were you on this hand, because you are a passed hand, okay, because you are passed hand, 2 hearts would mean hearts. If you weren't a passed hand, I would just put 2 spades because it would become the 4th suit. 4th suit forcing is forcing to game. I have a full opening hand, and on this hand, I would just put 2 spades. And that's where the bidding should be. Partner, I don't like your diamonds. I don't like your clubs. Please leave me in my suit. And remember, one of the most important things in this game, when you don't fit, quit. And that's the bottom line. And that's the contract. Where did you play? What were you in?
We played in 3 spades. But the way that the bidding went, West opened, West opened that 1 diamond, and then North passed, and then East 1 spade, pass, and then two clubs pass, and then 2 hearts. And I was wondering, what does that 2 hearts mean? What does that mean? Does that?
If you weren't a passed hand, it's called the 4th suit. It's got nothing to do with hearts. So when you're a passed hand, it's got to be hearts. It says I've got 5 spades and 4 hearts.
Okay, so it's just telling your partner you've got 4 hearts.
Right, and 5 spades. I would just put 2 spades and call it a day.
So then West went on to bid 2.
West was asked to choose. So what did West do now?
West,
he dug a hole to go deeper in the hole and but 2
they
no.
went up to let's see, so
2 no.
1 spade pass.
He went to 2 no.
2 clubs pass, Yeah, then two
Hearts, and then you have
hearts
to put two
pass,
more or
and
something.
then two no trump.
I know. You don't want to get
Uh,
too high. This bidding's getting out of all proportion.
Yeah, they
The
went
best
three
contract's
spades.
2 spades.
Yeah, 3 spades, and then the contract was 3 spades. I can't remember if they went down or not, but yeah, I was just wondering about the bidding on that because of, you know,
Well,
them
let's
telling
make
each
sure
other.
that everybody in this room here understands about the rules about opening week 2s in first and second seat. I know they're very undisciplined people that do open on anything, but it's not the way I train people. I feel that first and second seat is very important, that you have at least 2 of the top honors, and you cannot have 2 outside features. You either have an ace or a king or a singleton, but you can't have both. And 6-4 is far, far too strong. Far, far too strong. So let me give you another word of advice. Just a little tip if you want. How do you know whether you should open a week 2 without an opening hand? You count the missing aces, kings, and queens. In the spade suit, we're missing the ace and the queen. That's 2 losers. In the heart, we're missing 1, the king. That's 3. In the clubs, we're missing the ace and the king is 5. And in the diamonds, we're missing 1 is 6. So anytime you have 6 losers, you don't open a week 2. You have to have 7 or 8. Okay? And that is another tip I can give you.
Okay.
Linda, so on this hand, what would you lead as south?
On this hand, I would lead the 2 of clubs. I'll never lead from King Jack 8 ever. If I'm going to lead a heart, I lead the 8. I will never lead the Jack without the 10. I would never lead the Jack without the 10.
Okay.
People, if you're going to lead a heart, you've got to lead the 8, the 8 of hearts. And it will blow a trick. There's no doubt about that. But let me explain why I don't want to lead from the King Jack. There's too many points in this hand. The 1 is bid, the other is bid, and I've got all these points. I don't expect my partner to have many points in the hand. So I would lead the 2 of clubs, 4th highest. That to me is the safest lead if I look at the hand.
So I was south and I led a heart simply because that was the only suit they didn't bid.
I agree, but then I want you to think of another very important point. When my partner cannot overcall 1 heart over 1 diamond, I bend over backwards not to lead the suit. I always say that to myself. If my partner has got any inkling of wanting a heart lead, she can always bid a heart over 1 diamond. And the fact that she didn't, I don't lead the suit. That's my other bridge tip. Is that a good bridge tip?
Outstanding. Thank you.
Okay, and therefore, I'm going to carry on with another bridge tip. So when the bidding goes like it does, and they get to 3 no trump, and I have a choice between the minor and the major, they expect the major lead. I always lead the minor now because I thought of my partner couldn't overcall a heart. I'm leading the other minor, and I've beaten many contracts on that surmise. If he couldn't bid a heart, I lead the other suit they're not expecting because they know that you're going to lead a heart. It works well. Okay? All right. Well, I'm going to say good night. I hope you all had a good time with our rule of 11. And next Thursday, that's the day after tomorrow, we're going to discuss aces as a defender. I hope you all come and have a great time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Linda.
Hope you enjoyed it.
Immensely.